as it dawned the morning, there was thunders and lightning. A thick cloud settled on the mountain. The people trembled as they heard the voice of Elohim's own words, the sound of the ram's horn blasting. You shall be a kingdom of priests. You shall be a holy nation.
Shalom Aleichem Mishpachah. This is Todd and Tamara here with Paradigm Shift, and we so much want to give all glory, thanks, and honor and praise and worship to our Father of our forefathers, Yahweh Yahuwah Elohim, who sits in the heaven of heavens with our Messiah, our King, Yeshua HaMashiach, sitting at his right hand, waiting for his enemies to be made his footstool.
That's right. Shalom Aleichem. It is great to be with you guys again today, and it is a really amazing day to be alive in these times and understanding what's really going on, where Father's actually allowing us to see the false paradigms that have been built around us. He's allowing us to break the programming that is constantly being just injected into us as we go through our daily lives, and we don't take it, we don't even realize it. And that's why we really love the biblical quote, 2 Corinthians 10:5, where he tells us, he commands us to take every thought captive unto Torah HaMashiach. And in Romans 2:12, he tells us that we are not to be conformed, but that we're to be transformed. We're not to be conformed to this world, but transformed by the renewing of our minds. And he goes on to tell us that the reason why is because so that we can discern what is that tov, or good, acceptable, and even the perfect will of Yahuwah. And that's what we try very hard to do every single day. When every moment of our lives, we're constantly looking at this stuff, and it's exhausting to some people. It's exhilarating to us. It's frightening to some people. It sets us free. We enjoy this, and we have so many listeners out there who enjoy it the same way we do, and we appreciate you. We appreciate the emails from you. Mm-hmm. If you'd like to contact us, our email address is petranch@dishmail.net. Or you can contact us through Hebrew Nation, Todd or Tamara at HebrewNation.net.
Okay, before we get into today's show, which we're going to be going through the image, the sorcery, the magician sorcerer's realm that they are putting out to us, to all the nations of the earth on a very consistent flow and an ever-increasing flow over these years as we approach the exponential increase in the judgments that are being released upon this earth, as every man and woman's heart is being taught to image, to manifest, to be man-infested by their demons, their fallen ones that are coming back and through the veil of darkness into our world, because we have turned away from the Torah Messiah physics of the universe, which keeps them locked away outside of us with no fear whatsoever in our hearts. The key, we humans are the keys to the gates of heaven and hell. They know it, and that's why they measure out the times and seasons over the earth, so that they can get the gates open. If they can corrupt us into thinking evil continuously in man's hearts, then the gates of hell are opened as a response, because Father is the one who controls all evil. He creates all evil on this earth and in the universe, anywhere in between. Satan cannot do anything. He has no power or authority. There's nothing that he is not all-powerful. Or she, more than likely. There's great suggestions throughout history. If you read it, it's a she. Lucifer is a she. So their whole system is set up so that we will worship on their 8 Sabbat quarters, like we've been teaching you guys over the past couple of years. And those 8 Sabbat quarters are the bastardization, the remeasuring of the times and seasons of the earth, so that it will tell man on this earth on how that they will walk out their days, and that also that they will number the days of man on this earth by their religion. And they get us all worshiping on these 8 Sabbat quarters so that they will get us in a harmonic rhythmatic discordance, so that the whole fabric of the universe is ripped apart and the dark ones can come through the veil as we are darkened in our hearts and our minds and our bodies and our souls.
And we know how Abba feels about that, because he tells us, what we're witnessing when we're watching their movies and we're listening to their music and we're allowing their television and their news propaganda to infiltrate our thoughts, well, what's happening is Noah 6:5, and Yahuwah saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every inclination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. That's what's going on. That's what they're trying to gin up in us. That's right, sorcerize
the
in
demons,
us.
Magic, sorcery, imagery from Hollywood. They want to open up the portals that we are. They understand it better than we do. And that's what Father's doing right now, is He's offering us a glimpse into that understanding so that we can take all of that back, so that we understand we do rule and reign in our own hearts, and that transfers to what is allowed, what is permitted, what is compromised, what is consented to around us. Control of our choice. Our choice is the true sovereignty of any man or woman or child on this earth. It's not whether or not you can own guns or own lands inside their satanic kingdom on this planet. They cannot touch us. They cannot do anything to us. They have no access to us unless we break the commands and laws of Father. And the more we follow His ways instead of their 8 Sabbat ways, which are most identified today. They've changed throughout history over the thousands of years. They've changed the names over and over again, but they've always remained the same. And what are they today? Most notably, Christmas is the highest holy day of their season, because they do everything in darkness, and it's in the middle of the 4 quarters of the year as Father measured out the earth, and that's during the winter time. And then you've got Halloween, you've got Thanksgiving, you've got May Day, all of the festivals and holidays that they've given to us, along with all the venerated saints, politicians, the entertainment egos, alter egos that they give to us, out there. It doesn't matter who it is, the bankers, the high corporation managers, they are images of the fallen ones that are driving these people behind them. As a matter of fact, the Catholic Church calls the venerated saints the venerated of the dead. All you're seeing is with Obama or any of the saints in the churches or any personality on TV, you're seeing just a covering of the same old fallen one demons that they are trying to set free on this planet, because they're getting all of man to focus their light, whatever's left. That's why they like of an adult. They get us all to focus on they're trying to get us focused on one single man, one single idea. But as we become more corrupted, we become more dark, and we have less power. They have to have more and more people focusing on them in a one world order. That's why they love the babies and sacrificing the babies so much, because they are the purest form of true light energy when it comes into this earth.
They're untainted.
They're untainted, and so when they get a bigger release, a burst of reflective energy towards them, the illuminated ones, so that they can manifest their dark fallen angel Nephilim children that are the spirits that walk around this earth, trying to get into men, especially in the power centers, and convince them to give their lives over to them so that they can become in charge of the kingdoms of the world, so that they can get their fathers out of the gates of hell and come out on earth again.
And if you don't understand or believe what we're saying, look at the world around you and look at the industry, the music industry, the movie industry. It's termed the industry. Look at what they're churning out and producing. They're telling you what they are trying to mold you into. And they start with these young children that look all sweet and innocent. They do things with even the Disney movies where they're, throwing in the words sex, and there's flashes of naked women. Anything they can do to begin to propagate these ideas in you, even without you knowing, to do it subconsciously.
To desire
but then
them.
If you continue to move on, and you watch any of these stars that start out young and as what they transform into, and even if they don't start out young, say they start out in their 20s or something, and then they still continue to transform them from anything that has goodness or innocence or light of any kind into demonic entities. You watch them go from wearing white dresses to black dresses, or from rapping simple to death, destruction, and mayhem. They literally now what they're doing is they're telling you the stars that they put up there, that the industry puts up there, they are telling you, we are possessed. We have entities inside of us. We are not there when we're performing. And what is being shown to you is literally a transformation from human to demonic. If that's what the white to the black is. That's
right. The Taoism. They're showing you both sides of the individuals who you see as your politicians as well. It's not just them. They, in the political industry, they pick the ones that are most suited to the same demonic type possession, and they are higher than the music musical industry, and to get to the final top of this empire, you have to be the most murderous, lying, conniving persons on the planet. And they all, in the end, when they die, they know where they're perishing to, and they die very extremely fearfully.
So let's talk about what some movies are for 2013.
That's what we want to hit.
Predictive programming for the sheeple. That's what movies are. Predictive programming for the sheeple.
And the interesting thing about all these movies in 2013 is we just went to a site that showed the top 40 trailers for the 2013 movies coming out, and every single one of them, without exception, what are the general ideas that they are putting across? You got fallen one Nephilims that are breaking through into people, and it's supposed to be a good thing, and there's a bad side and a good side of each one, and there's going to be a singular hero that's going to come up and defeat them. And most of these movies are showing a goddess, or a god.
There's nothing human here. There's no hero that's human.
And they want to teach the human race that you are being exterminated, and you're going to be exterminated unless you are transformed by the renewing of your mind into the absolute most darkness of evil. And you're going to have to accept transhumanism, genetic changes, in order to survive. And they show them coming from outer space. They show them coming up from out of the ground. They show them from beasts. They show them coming from everywhere. And always, Mishpachah, it's about us opening it up for them.
And they are speaking the truth right to you. We've recorded a couple of them that we're going to let you hear, because the truth is put right before your eyes in a fiction form, so that you will let it into your soul. That's what happens when you suspend your disbelief and you go for the ride of a movie. That's why we always recommend not going to the movie theaters, because you can't shut the ride off. You are completely bombarded, all of your senses, your hearing, the music is extremely important. Whenever we sit down to watch a movie, we do not sit down for the ride. We sit down to study, and we sit there with our remote, and we have it on mute. We have it on pause. We're always rewinding. We are taking this thing apart because we understand what it is feeding the people around us, and that when we walk out into the world, the people around us have brought that stuff into their souls, and they are manifesting it as we walk through the world with His light. They are literally walking through the darkness with their light, with the light of the industry.
They need the blood. They need your blood. They need the commitment of your blood, the commitment of your mind and soul, the commitment of your children, burning them to Molech, their god, Satan, in order to gain power on this earth, in order to come out from behind the veil. Now, why are we going through these movies in 2013? Well, because it's been increasing exponentially. All these ideas of the fallen ones returning and man infesting back on this earth,
and robotics, the amazing technology that these movies are continuing to show us that we'll be fighting against.
You have to have the robotics in order to survive, for mankind to survive.
That's right. One movie actually shows a beast rising out of the sea that looks like flesh and blood, and they use the army. They have our military jumps into robotic suits and then jumps into a large robot and becomes one in acting and moving. A large robot, huge, not just large. I mean, it's like bigger than cities.
Bigger than Godzilla. Yeah, the biggest Godzilla you've ever thought about by 10 times. And the reason why they developed this thing is because the massive, gigantic beasts, the beasts of the sea that are coming up, these are flesh creatures coming up out of the sea to destroy mankind on Earth. So they give us the only solution, like Man of Steel, this new Superman movie, or any of them. It's the same solution over and over again. There's these giant, massive beasts, and man has to meld with machine and change their genetics and look to one man to save them. And again, another theme is always the human woman in love with the fallen angel, the blood, the corrupted bloodline. Yes, that's repeatedly, and they say it right to you on there. They show it to you. And this year in 2013 is exponential. It's gone off the charts. Almost every movie has these themes in it. And why are we doing this? Because we just read from Scripture about Noah's day. Every man and woman's heart was thinking imaging evil continuously, and that is all that is out there in the entertainment industry and the movie industry coming to you today. The politics, the economics, the educational system. It releases the beast. That's right. You know that drink released the beast.
beast.
Everything is evil.
It's all a spell.
That's right. We are at the apex, Mishpachah. We are at the apex. It's a warning to all the peoples of Yah that has any heart left and care for one another and not for their own flesh, that are committed to dying of self and for others. Because Mishpachah, the only way he set this whole system up, the Torah physics of the universe, for you to get closer to our Father, is for you to look at others and find yourself in them, that the things that you have learned to overcome and you're still overcoming, you count it as a blessing no matter how they treat you or the way that they walk.
Okay, so the first movie we're going to go through is Percy Jackson, Sea of Monsters. We went ahead and recorded this. Listen very carefully. Right from the opening stanchion, they actually tell you the truth.
And we're going to make comments throughout. We pause it and we'll make comments throughout it. So here we go, Mishpachah.
I learned that the gods of Olympus are real. And sometimes they have children with humans called half-bloods. We're pretty much like anyone else you'd meet, but with a few notable differences. We live in the only place that is safe for our kind. Until now. What is that?
Go inside to the oracle.
Percy. Kronos, a force so evil, 3 of his sons, Zeus, Hades, and Poseidon, destroyed him. He's fated to rise again, to exact his vengeance on Olympus and the world.
The only thing that has the power to save our home is the Golden Fleece. It's in the Sea of Monsters, but the humans call it the Bermuda Triangle. Our quest calls for only our finest hero, the best of us, the daughter of the god of war, Clarice!
Chariot of Damnation.
Looks like a New York City cab.
Same difference.
The exact date.
We will resurrect Kronos, and the Olympians will know death. Percy!
We really need your help, and we don't have a lot of time.
You twist the cap off this, you release the winds from the 4 corners of the world.
Tell me those aren't sharks.
Those aren't sharks.
Okay, so we just kind of kept going through that, and that was short enough. What you'll see in the movie trailer, if you decide to look at it, is they use demonic things for fun. They have power over demonic things, and they think they're cool and they're fun, and they use them in order to get where they need to go and what they want to have
and
done.
They're meeting with Pan, the devil, in order to get their...
He's one of their buddies.
Yeah, it's one of their buddies in order to help them along their way. They mentioned Kronos, which is absolute darkness. This is the evil Satan one, and it also has to do with time, times and seasons. It's always related with time, times and seasons. So they mentioned Zeus, Hades, and Poseidon. What they're showing you is a flip-flop inverse of what actually happened, Mishpachah. It was the mighty angels of Yah, like Michael and Gabriel and others, that destroyed the fallen ones and their offspring, or actually the fallen ones, and cast them out of heaven.
Kronos, Zeus, Hades, and Poseidon. Yes.
So they're giving you a double idea here as far as anyone who has any sort of Torah or Christianity program, anything from those scriptures, about what is going to transpire in the end. And they use the Golden Fleece, which we know by reading the book of Yasher, I believe it is, where they talk about the skin of Adam and Eve, the skins, and these things
they wore. Yeah.
And these things were hidden and stolen, and Ham took it on the boat with him and got off, and then Nimrod used that, and it was said that when Nimrod put it on, he had great power, ability to control demons and demonic forces and portals. They also used, in that when they had the taxi cab in there were 3 demonic spirits, and Scripture talks about the 3 demonic spirits that comes out of the woman's mouth, the 3 frogs that go about the world to deceive it. They also talked about the 4 corners of the world, the winds, and opening it up, and Scripture talks about that as well. So the Golden Fleece is used in order to control the times and seasons of the earth, to open up the gate portals with these fleshly dragons that come out of the Bermuda Triangle Sea in order to fight the demonic forces that are of metal and things. Again, these alien forces that are trying to take over the world.
This movie is geared towards your children,
right.
But it's so full of stuff that even adults will be really entranced by it, and it shows you these demonic entities, and it shows you incredible electronics, and it shows you the truth of what everybody's laughing at.
Okay, now we're going to go on to the next movie, and the next movie is
The Purge.
This is absolutely horrible. This is just the most disgusting thing that is coming upon man. It is the Bacchanal Day. We'll go ahead and read about the Bacchanal Day celebrations in the past.
Let's read it after we play it, so they can really make it.
Okay, we're going to play this short clip here again for you, Mishpachah, and then make a few comments.
If on one night every year you could commit any crime without facing consequences, what would you do? In The Purge, a speculative thriller that follows one family over the course of a single night, 4 people will be tested to see how far they will go to protect themselves when the vicious outside world breaks into their home. In an America racked by crime and overcrowded prisons, the government has sanctioned an annual 12-hour period in which any and all crime activity, including murder, becomes legal. The police can't be called. Hospitals suspend help. It's one night when the citizens regulate itself without thought of punishment. On this night, plagued by violence and the epidemic of crime, one family wrestles with the decision of who they will become when a stranger comes.
Why don't you guys kill someone tonight?
Because we don't feel the need to, Johnny.
Just remember all the good the Purge does.
We'll be fine just like always. No worries, okay?
This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge. At the siren, all emergency services will be suspended for 12 hours. Your government thanks you for your participation.
Help me! Someone, please, help me! I just need to get someone safe. Did anybody hear me?
Let's go! This way! This way, hurry!
Why did you let him in our home? We have no idea who's after him.
Our target for this year's purge is hiding in your home. You have 1 hour to find him and give him to us, or we'll kill all of you.
They can't get in here, right? They can't get into our home.
Now it's the picture of the American flag.
May 31st, survive the night.
Okay, so now that you've heard this movie, The Purge, listen to what the Bacchus night is. This is from ancient history, and it went in through Rome and Greece. This is
1 night a year, and I'll just go ahead and read it. There was no crime, no deed of shame, wanting. More uncleanliness was committed by men with men than with women. Whoever would not submit to defilement or shrank from violating others was sacrificed as a victim, which you just heard in that movie. That family didn't want to have anything to do with it, but they still justified the purging of the human condition across the planet as being good if they can go out and do these things once a year. They show in that movie that the economics, unemployment is 1%. And there's no crime throughout all the year because they allow this demonic purge each year.
Purge. So then it goes on to say, to regard nothing as impious or criminal was the sum total of this religion. The men, as though seized with madness and with frenzied distortions of their bodies, shrieked out prophecies. The matrons, dressed, their hair disheveled, and rushed down to the timber river with burning torches, plunged them into water and drew them out again, the flame undiminished because they were made of sulfur mixed with lime. Men were fastened to a machine and hurried off to hidden caves, and they were said to have been taken away by the gods. These were the men who refused to join their conspiracy or take part in their crimes or submit to their pollution. This was a real deal. And they just put the American flag on it and waved it across this movie, singing America the Beautiful.
It's back. Yes. Nothing new under the sun, Mishpachah. And the rest of these movies here, we should read off a short list there.
Well, and there was another movie, second on the list of most popular movies this week was called The Hammer of the Gods. And this movie is literally about men seeking out demons and utilizing the power. And you see them screaming on there just and ripping each other and crushing skulls. It was a blood frenzy. This is exactly the same spirit we're seeing in Syria and Egypt, where they're killing people and ripping out their organs and eating them. This is actually being shown in this movie. We also have a movie called The Guillotines, where they're throwing these blades that chop off your heads. We have Injustice, The Gods Among Us, Star Trek Into Darkness, it has a cameo of Nibiru. We have a movie called The Mortal Instruments, which is all about being able to see shadow people. And again, it's a mixture of humans and angels that are able to fight the shadows. We have Transformers Part 4. We have all these movies.
Transformer Part 4 shows what looks like a giant Death Star coming in. It's called Kronos. It's the controller of time and seasons again.
And it's the same globes, the metallic globes that are appearing all over the Earth. And then this Star Trek it wasn't Star Trek. We have many superhero movies that are coming out again. Everybody wants to see these. We have Oblivion, which is about Earth, after Earth, but yet there's still humans hiding, and there's a technological society above it. We have the Europa. Oh, we have 2 White House movies. The White House gets destroyed two times.
Black president too, Mishpachah. They're setting up a civil war right now in this nation, and it's the biggest trick being played upon you. You have no chance with your guns or any sort of through any revolution in fighting this beast. In Yeshua HaMashiach's name, keep looking up, Mishpachah.
Remember the Sabbath day, keep it holy. Respect your father and your mother. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. You shall not covet.